Take a hunk of 3/4 pipe and straighten them up. Well, it's time to scatter all of our 2x6 cell around the perimeter of the building. It's a treated cell, so it resists dry rot and it really discourages termites. And once all the cells are scattered, we can cut them to length. That's it. Looking good? So, time to cut all our cells. A good efficient carpenter doesn't always have to use a measuring tape and a square to get the work done. Let's take a look how that goes. First of all, we sag down this concrete foundation. Get our board marked for length. We mark it with a saw cut. We pull the board out a bit. The next step is important. How do we cut square without a square? Well, simple. Line the saw table up with the edge of the board and make the cut. Shove this piece of sill back out of the way and take a block of the same material and position it flush with the outside of the foundation. Then we can bring up this piece of sill and cut it to length again without using a measuring tape. Safety is part of being a good carpenter. Wear gloves when you're handling this treated wood. And wear safety glasses, earplugs, and keep that saw guard down. The next thing we do is mark the bolt hole locations on all the cells. Just align the board flush with the blocks. Okay, looking good. I'll mark the first one here. And then we just tap down with our hammer directly over each bolt. That leaves a mark that we can use for drilling our holes. We use a heavy-duty drill motor and a good sharp auger bit to drill our holes. We drill at least 1/8 inch larger than the diameter of our bolts. To help keep out the cold, we put down a fiberglass sill sealer. You can also buy one that's made out of foam. Check your plans in the local code to see what's used in your area. Now the sills go down. Joe puts washers and nuts on the bolts, and I like to tighten them down with an impact wrench. That's a lot faster than a socket or Crescent wrench. Okay, that's good. Yesterday, Joe and I finished bolting down all these mud cells. And you remember that we checked our corners for square and our walls for parallel. Well, today, we've been going around and making sure that our cells all the way around the building are level. And you know, it really is pretty incredible, but they're close to perfect, about an 1/8 inch variation. But sometimes that's not true. You'll have to adjust these cells a bit. Simply loosen the bolt, take a couple of treated shims, pick that cell up the desired amount. And this crack here gets filled with the dry pack. It's a dry concrete mixture. Now take a look at these bolts. They're within 1 foot of the end. That's the code. Not only here at the corner, but also down there at the joint. And then every 6 feet, you need another bolt. Now it's important not to take these bolts for granted. They're what keep your house where you want it to be, on the foundation. The next thing I need to do is cut out for the girders that'll go in these pockets left here in the blockwork. I first outline the cut using a scrap of the girder material.